A giant boy locked away and forgotten was discovered in an abandoned lab, and the world was left in shock. Hidden for years at the end of a crumbling hallway in a forsaken industrial estate, he was finally found by investigators following an anonymous tip. He was no ordinary child. He was nearly 7 feet tall, his limbs stretched to grotesque proportions, his hollow eyes filled with fear. The sight left the investigators speechless, their flashlights trembling. The news spread like wildfire, capturing the world's attention. Who was this giant boy, and how did he come to be hidden away? As authorities and scientists swarmed the abandoned lab, they began piecing together a story so dark. The lab was littered with cryptic notes and strange diagrams, all pointing to an experimental compound, labeled only as Compound X according to the documents. This chemical had been used in a reckless attempt to enhance human capabilities. But instead of enhancing anything, it had transformed the boy into something beyond human, his growth out of control, and his body ravaged by the side effects. Doctors warned that his body was under immense strain, his organs barely able to function in his enormous frame. Attempts to halt his growth were useless. Compound X had altered his very DNA. The few times he spoke, his voice was timid, haunted, barely a whisper. Those who observed him saw a child who had known nothing but fear and isolation, huddling in a corner, drawing strange shapes in the air, as if trying to make sense of his twisted world. The story took an even darker turn when an anonymous whistleblower revealed that the boy hadn't just been a victim of circumstance, he was an intentional creation, born and raised within the lab, observed as though he were nothing more than an experiment. Grainy footage surfaced, showing him struggling to walk, staring at his reflection, bewildered and alone. The scientists responsible for his creation had initially celebrated their work, but as his growth spiraled beyond their control, they abandoned him to suffer in silence, trapped within the cold walls of the lab. Public outrage exploded as details surfaced of secret government projects. Protesters demanded answers, calling the boy's existence a crime against humanity. The boy himself became a powerful symbol, a tragic reminder of the dangers of unchecked scientific ambition. Doctors desperately searched for a way to reverse his growth, but every attempt failed. The physical toll of his rapid development had pushed his body to its breaking point, and his fragile condition worsened. As his story spread, people demanded justice and a full investigation into the lab and those responsible for his suffering. The mystery of Compound X and the giant boy's tragic life spurred lawmakers to take action, bringing about stricter oversight for scientific research. His story served as a grim warning, a reminder of the ethical lines that must never be crossed, and as society moved forward, his memory remained a silent vow to protect humanity from the horrors of ambition without restraint. The abandoned lab was demolished soon after his death, but his legacy endured, a haunting beacon that urged the world to choose compassion over curiosity.